All right, good evening, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. I am Jared Napolitano. I am streaming a game here that just started. We should be able to level set and catch up, but yeah, figured good opportunity to stream a competitive game. This is between Chris Kelly and Greg Shaw. It's for our Coruscant League. It's event 3, which is Jawa format, which lops off some cards from the meta. Greg is playing Ender Operations, and Chris is playing the Skywalker Saga deck, aka Force is Strong. In my family, it's the Luke variety. So he starts Anakin's Feudal Pyre, Walkling, Best Star Pilot, and like my father before me, Chris Kelly's famous, sometimes infamous effect from Virtual Set 2. Greg's looks like he's playing That Thing's Operational, started operational as planned. So wanted to do this stream just because it's going to impact who wins the game. Of course, we have the sticker book program, which I'll do a link to. We just want more opportunities for people to be able to, digest Star Wars CCG content, do the submissions and get the packs and build out their sticker books and get some pretty neat foils. So we're going to do that pretty early on in this. As Greg's setting up Moff Jar to the Executor Holo Theater. It's got Death Star 2, the reactor core, or not the reactor core, the capacitors, I think this is. Coolant shaft. Capacitors are coming next. It looks like he's got a pretty good setup here. Endor Shield comes out from reserve using the bunker game text. So I'll paste in the chat here. Yeah, Ryan's looking for stickers. So yeah, and I'll talk about that program a little bit more as Piat comes out. So this is a consequential game, I would say. I'm 5-1 in this event. I started 5-0, lost my 6th game to Wayne. Greg is 4-1, and Greg is 3-2. Or not Greg. Chris is 3-2. Greg is 4-1. If Greg wins, it's going to be a strength of schedule tiebreaker between him and me. And honestly, there's still a couple games in our league that need to be played out, so I think it could go either way. So it's a little bit of suspense here. If Chris wins, then I definitely win the event, event 3. We just had event 4, kind of going backwards in time. It was an in-person event in Hamilton, New Jersey yesterday. And actually these two players are at the top table for the games 3 and 4 out of 4. I think Greg did win on a second tiebreaker. It wasn't just the straight SOS, it was the opponent's SOS using the software, and Greg narrowly edged out Chris. So now on Chris's turn, he's putting out the Paulus Massa. Greg, of course, has Piat and Jar Jar here in case Chris were to threaten with a spy or something, but not going to be the case here as Chris just draws here. So yeah, I figured the more games the better, more opportunities for the stickers. We already did one round, which was about 350 packs that Kevin Yop has been laboring to make these. We're going to have another 2 rounds. They're probably going to be about 400 packs each. And, of course, Dan is doing a great job tracking all of these. We drew the cutoff, I think it was around May 1st for the first batch. So any of the weekly Holo Theater submissions, Dan will track all those. And I think we'll call the next cutoff maybe around August 1st or November 1st, something like that. Probably more like August 1st. So all the national coverage, there will be tokens with the program. And in general, it's watch stuff, send an email with a token, and you get, we'll log how many submissions you have, and then we'll split up the packs for each round proportionate to how many people or how many submissions each person has. So the people that submit the most get the most. It's not necessarily, hey, 10 submissions get you 10 packs. And the first round, we kind of applied like a floor. If anyone who did any submission got at least 2. I think the 2 top people were Dan and David Woods had the most. And then I think people like Ryan had like 15 or so. There's a lot of people that had 12, 15, 14. So Tarkin's Bounty comes out here on Piat. Greg uploaded Grand Admiral Thrawn V. I think maybe the reasoning here is, Chris Kelly is known to play mains a lot. Maybe Greg went with That Thing's Operational, a deck that's not intended to fight on the ground with strong main characters, but instead do some direct damage. Maybe get a couple of nice space drains in at Endor and possibly like Kashyyyk or Naboo, and then just outrace a mains deck that would likely on the platform. I played Chris in games 4 and 5. I had my Obi-Wan communing deck against, he was playing Watto, and my deck used Credits Will Do Fine and Watto's Junkyard, and it was over pretty quick. It was just kind of a really good matchup for me. But I really like the Obi-Wan communing for Jawa. I played it a lot, so it wasn't like a, hey, Chris is going to play Watto, I'm going to play this deck. I knew that Chris has played Watto before, but wasn't 100% betting on him there. And then game 4, what was that? I think I played, I forget what it was. So many games of Star Wars lately. I probably played Stunning Move, and he played Yavin 4 Ops, and I had a good space battle really early. I just kind of said, screw it, I'm gonna challenge him. I just realized, okay, so the screen's good. Everyone should be able to see the whole screen. Let me uncover the PC logo here. Oh no, wait, the other logo, the PC20 logo. Make sure we show that off in the 20th year of the PC here. Some more setup here. There we go. The shuttle comes out. Jar Jar and Piet, docking bay transit, hop on the shuttle. Shuttle takes off. Greg's lining up a drain of 2 here. He's got that thing's operational on the table, but it needs to orbit a battleground system besides Endor in order to start dealing the direct damage of 2 per turn. Looks like we got 8 viewers in chat. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Chris and Greg were saying they were probably play this on Sunday night or Monday night, and about 10, maybe 15 minutes ago, they were saying, hey, we're going to play in 5 minutes, and fortunately my kids are in bed and able to jump on here, and whether it's a 20-minute game or an hour and a half game, I should be able to stick through. I also have a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a Master Yoda foil. Is Don't Do That Again comes out, the shield, and a goldenrod shield. This, if you went to Worlds, you should have got one of these, so I'm going to not make you, you're not going to be eligible here unless for some reason you didn't get it, but everyone who went to Worlds should have got a foil of all 3 of the Communing Jedi, so we'll do like a quick trivia, and go from there. The one non-foil. Yeah, so Chris has lots and lots of foils in the deck. What's his one? He's making a joke. Oh, only because it's a Jawa game. Chris doesn't have 100% foils in his deck. Yeah, Chris was very excited yesterday as I'm starting to give out the Father's Day AI foils to people that have 12 games. I'm in the process of shipping out all the donor incentives, and we'll be doing a bunch of shipments for nationals. Well, that's going to be like actually just 1 or 2 boxes to Garrett Larson, who will give stuff out at nationals. But yeah, if you had your 12 games at this point, and I had to ship you something anyway, I will combine those AIs in there. So I was seeing Chris yesterday at the event. Up comes some activation, Jedi Council Chamber, and Yoda's Hut. So he asked me a few times, am I the first person to get these? And I was like, no, Chris, you're not the first person to get these, but you are probably the first person to play with them. So he was very happy to be able to put the Like My Father Before Me AI to work right off the bat. All right, so out comes Rey and the Falcon. Use pile pull here. Chris has got more life force, but Greg, of course, has a bunch of things on the table with that thing's operational structure. So we'll see how this goes. This looks like it'll be a good game between 2 very good players. And of course, both these players were at our local yesterday, as was myself and Scott and Wayne and Greg and Tom S. and who else am I missing there? Bill B, Rebel CPA, and I think I'm missing one person. I don't know. Hopefully I got everybody. So, yeah. So Dan, you're asking, so I actually just got an update. I have a feeling that these poker buttons, which are the one thing I'm waiting for to get the last round of shipments out, look like they're running ahead of schedule. I got a notification from DHL this morning that they are in West Philadelphia right now, as of this morning, just like Fresh Prince. I'm hoping that they arrive maybe there's a chance maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I kind of thought it was going to be more like Wednesday. But as soon as I get them, I'm going to start throwing them in these packages, seal them up, and drop them off at the post office. So we have a Journey 3 coming through at Endor for a battle plan. I also have a couple more printouts I need to get, but I ordered them and they're ready for pickup at Staples. So between the printouts, the buttons, throw everything in there, seal it up, get it out. And it'd be good for people to get like the full package at once. Like I said, I'm trying to be as efficient and economical with shipping as possible. Some people like the Brian Freds and the Sam Tashimas of the world. Like I didn't send them. I sent them everything but the buttons, and I figure I'll just give them the buttons with the Nationals package. So I don't want to hold everything up, and it's just 121 donors to get packages out. It's a lot, so I wanted to stagger it and try to be smart where I could. So out comes Emperor Palpatine, Greg top deck, Force is strong with this, or Run Luke Run. No, he lost them both from hand. Run Luke Run and Force is strong with this one. V. both from hand, figuring he's probably not going to have a lot of utility for them in battles. And now Greg's going to move in front. I feel like there's a decent amount of like concussion missiles and X-Wing cannons in the meta right now. Definitely concussion missiles. That's been going in No Idea and Old Allies. And you can see X-Wing cannons here and there. I like it, Bill. Looks like you're coming up from Yavin 4. Looks like Dan's going to bring a crew from Pittsburgh. Coruscant Regionals. We're going to be in Bluebell August 13th. Hopefully we get a nice crew. Hopefully we get some people from different regions. Hopefully a nice big event. But actually that reminds me, I got to call the store. They've been very, very, very accommodating and like, oh yeah, no problem in the past. But let me make a reminder to myself. Yeah, Tarmycin would be good as well. And Greg is going to pull Forlom V. EPP Forlom V, I should say. That is an AI that I have, and I've been including that in some of the early donors since there was a lot of people, like 30-some people that donated for the 2022 donation window within like the first 2 days. So as a thank you, I had I had a handful left over from prior years of the donor foils AIs, and I figured it'd be a pretty good reason to use them up by using them for people that donated very early in the process with enthusiasm. So I've been including Forlom V's, Finalizer, and Rogue One. So a lot of people have donated recently. They might have gotten those, but I'm trying to make it so that people aren't getting duplicates. All right, Anakin comes out. All right, let's see. What can we do for... Actually, let's make that. So we'll do the token now. I'll type it in the chat too. Maybe I'll just paste the program one more time. So sticker book program. So the sticker book will be, or the item, we'll call it X-Wing Laser Cannon. Is the token. So X-Wing Laser Cannon, this is Coruscant League Game 6, Event 3, if you want to put that in the detail. JNAP's doing it between Shaw and chriskelly are the players in the matchup. To send that in and give Dan some more items to update in his spreadsheet. Greg pulls Community Coward, and like I said, I'm going to do a giveaway too. I have a Yoda communing foil. That's pretty cool. This is long story short with this. These are on like a thicker paper. We were doing some testing initially. This paper is like so thick that it shouldn't really go in decks. So it's good for cards that are never going to go into reserve decks, basically, of which Master Yoda should always be outside of your deck on the communing epic event. So that's where it still has some utility. You don't have to worry about your card being thick or weighted or marked. It's good for stuff that are just pretty much always starting cards. Like Force the Strong in My Family would be a good example that I could print out on this particular paper, but it's a little thick. We don't want to put it to waste, so we could use it on certain things. Am I a loud typer? Oh, I don't know. I know Andy Talaga had that feedback one time on a Holo Theater episode that Dan typed too loud. So maybe I've been typing as loud too. All right, so Falcon's going to run away to the Death Star, then use its second move that can be done once per game to move into the coolant shaft. So we'll see if Greg's running the Scythe. Was it Scythe 3? Major Mianda, I think it is. Maybe Scythe 1, something like that. That one package that allows you to make a move and fire in your move phase. I don't know. Can you do both in one turn with the same thing? I think you can. It's pretty busted. It's a really strong combo that can shoot stuff down and protect it. But not all TTOs run it. I know the person I've seen playing TTO the most lately has been Timo. He did it in the Outrider Cup. He defeated Hayes' mains deck. I think he was playing... Let the Wookiee win, I think. But I don't think it's... So Mianda just adds to the weapon destiny. Scythe 3. Once during each of your move phases may fire one starship weapon aboard. Ow. So, and what's the one that... Oh, wow. So yeah, Scythe 1, which is for Mianda. And or make an additional move and fire a weapon. God. All right, so it's Scythe 1 and Mianda that are really strong. And Mianda adds 2. Chris tosses Rise of Skywalker and Anakin Padawan Learner, second copy, from his hand to that thing's operational ping, which, I guess it's orbiting Polis Massa, right? So kind of a drawback here of, there's the AI that I was talking about. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Some of these AIs are interesting because I'm so used to seeing them as foils that when I see them not foil, they look very different. Yeah, just as clear, just as good. Part of the remastering process that Christian and the graphics team has been doing. Yeah, that's a good point, Joker King. So yeah, combat response. Although that doesn't affect scythe ties, they're specifically excluded, right? But yeah, to match them up. I mean, I guess is what you mean that it helps. Wow, so a little unconventional here that Greg is going to put a bunch of characters and fight Chris on the ground. Oh boy, jeez, this is bad for Chris. Probably something he was not expecting to see. All this ground stuff. He's going to get 3 Battle Destiny here. Tarkin's going to add 1. Forlom's going to make the power -1. 2 Battle Destiny. Or it's going to be 3 total, right? Unless Chris has like Rebel Leadership. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's maybe one of the long plays here. If Chris can blow away the Death Star, that's a lot of force loss. Might be able to make up for some other aspects. So he does have leadership, so that's big. And Greg is going to draw, or grab it, rather. Is it 28? Wow. Yeah, because it's all the icons. What times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Times 4? Something adds to it, right? It says... Was that in the rulebook that it says it was actually in the Death Star? I think it's the rulebook that says it's, what, 4 icons? Something adds. I always forget which adds to the... It's normally times 2. TTO says double. Oh yeah, lose double force. Yikes. Yeah, so that can make up for a lot if you force them to lose 28. So between the Rebel leadership and the threat to blow away the Death Star, Chris is, probably okay. Greg does draw high here, 20, so it looks like it's going to be 9 overflow minus whatever Greg draw, or whatever Chris draws. He might have a Hoojix as well. He draws a 1. Oof, that hurts. So this is going to be 8 overflow unless he has a Hoojix. Neat. Sounds like a no if he's saying neat, so... Looks like he's going to have to peel 8. Luckily, he's got very few cards on the table. So hopefully, for the sake of entertainment here, hopefully Chris thinks he has some more tricks here. Yeah, so no Hoojix, loses the Luke's lightsaber. But now, Greg is going to be satisfying battle plan. And so this is 6 damage queued up for Greg per turn between the sight. This isn't like a 4-string -1, yeah. Between the sight, the dream here, and TTO. Oh no, this is a -1, so this is 5. If epic event on table, -1. So he's got 5 damage queued up. Tell him I thought we're playing a deck with a few ones in it. Yeah, normally Chris plays a deck with lots of 6s. It passes the turn, going to be beating a turn 4 here for Chris Kelly. So let me do a giveaway here for the Master Yoda. Let's do a trivia for people in the chat. Let's see. What would be a good thing as I look over here and try to think about this? All right, so we'll do this. This is a question that a collector can get, an old school player can get, or a new school open player will get. All right, what is? Here, I'll type in the chat too, simultaneously as I say it. Apparently loudly, according to Dan. And actually, let me make sure I have the answer handy before I say it. So hold on 1 second. Everyone get ready. Here comes the trivia question for the Master Yoda foil. And again, if you went to Worlds this past year, you should have this, so please don't answer. Or maybe if you win it, just please pass it on to somebody else who might not have it. All right, trivia question. Chris draws Ray. Here's a trivia question. What is the name of the 7-side of the light side combat objective? There's a light side combat objective that came out in Reflections 3. What is the name of the 7-side of the card? As Luke Skywalker Rebel Scout comes out. First person to answer it will get the Yoda. Again, if you went to Worlds, please don't answer because you already have this and I want to give this to somebody who doesn't have it. You can include it in prize support. This is a Master Yoda foil. Yeah, honest decks only. I have this reminder. PSA, we're starting to get the deck list up for the Tula regionals and also the Botha Wooby regionals on the website. They're mostly posted on the forums and the gem files, but in terms of getting them on the website and like a uniform format. All right, so Luke goes out with his lightsaber to the platform. Rick and Queen's Royal Starship. That's not a card you see outside of like WAP or Hyperdrive V, both of which are not the most popular decks right now, especially Hyperdrive V. Maybe in Jawa format, not the worst combo. Solo comes out. Duel of the Fates. All right, well, Dan, you should have this already, but I guess maybe you're giving it some time. Joker King says it's correct, who I know didn't go to Worlds, but I also know doesn't really have an immense need for foils. So I don't know. Dan, I'll let you have it, but please pass it on to somebody else. I'll actually throw it right in your package with your donation stuff. But please give it to somebody in Pittsburgh, maybe like Sean or Matt and Justin. I think both went to Worlds, but yeah. All right, so Chris is going to move into the Death Star 2. Movement Destiny is fine. Starship is not lost. So that's a good thing. This has a weird interaction too, because this is a starfighter with armor, and I think that's I always forget that's a good thing or a bad thing, because this targets maneuver, the movement Destiny, if any. So if it doesn't have any maneuver, what does it target? All right, so Greg cycles a card with Forlom V. Chris is getting pretty close to blowing up the Death Star. I think he's got to go in there, and then does he have to wait for his control phase? I think it's his control phase. Yeah. Once during each of opponent's control phases, opponent's pilot starfighter here might attempt to blow it away. He's got Anakin as ability 5, which helps. Add pilot's ability, Destiny greater than 4. So I think he only needs to draw 4 then, right? Maybe there's something else. But that seems to be building pretty well. I mean, if he blows that away, Greg's going to have a really tough time winning it, even though he's kind of ahead. I think he's ahead in life and force. But Chris also has this drain of 2 and 2 lined up. He's got the don't do that again, so he doesn't have to worry about always thinking about your stomach on Luke. So we're going to get a little bit of a race here. Again, this is Game 6 of Event 3 of the Coruscant League. We do 5 events. The first one, we did all the Jedi. I won that. Second one was a live event in Boonton back in March that Mike D'Amboise won, only 2 months after he had a top 4 appearance at the NPC in January. Event 4 out of order we did in person yesterday, which Greg won. And for this game, Event 3, it's going to either be me or Greg that wins it. Depends on what happens here. But the league kit comes with some special prizes for winners, like the Qui-Gon communing site, the Jedi Meditation Chamber AI. There's a foil V-slip of that winners get, winners of each league event, and winners for like different events at majors as well. And a black droid poker chip, which actually Nationals are going to get it. So if you go to Nationals, you get it. If you don't go to Nationals, as of now, the only way to get that chip is by winning an event in a league. Of course, we have a retro league. We have a Outer Rim league, which Bill's been running, which is kind of like players kind of all over the world who don't have like a league that's 8 to 12 people, whatever. All right, so Greg puts down Erica V to the Pyre. He's going to threaten a drain of 2 there. U3P is down here blocking the drain. So that's a good swing for Greg here, that he's now putting Chris in a position. He's only got 3 cards in his hand. I'm guessing that Chris does not want to move Luke over to this non-battleground, lose battle order, or lose the satisfying battle plan, I should say, and then allow maybe Erica to move over. All right, so now Death Star 2 is orbiting Naboo. He's going to keep getting those things operationals. Looks like Joker King got a ruling here. All versions of Radiant 7 would be immune to things like a few maneuvers, would not even have to draw movement Destiny inside Death Star 2. All right, so that's cool. Yeah, I'll look at the token again, Wayne. Some people had to step away. The token is X-Wing Laser Cannon. I'll type that again. If you're tuning in, people to miss it and have to rewatch it again. Again, if you're watching this on a replay, that's fine. You could submit it. I think Joker King actually asked the question, like, what's like the necessary time window? I think this was way back several months ago. I think we said like, hey, watch it within 3 days and submit it, but we haven't been enforcing that. I know some people watch stuff 2 weeks after they air. I don't think Dan's excluding those people, saying no, you didn't watch it fast enough. So as long as you watch it, send your thing in. That should be fine. So Greg continues to cycle cards at 4 LMV, covers up the Naboo drain. This is Chris's 5th turn here. He's not... Can he drain here? What's the rule with... I know dark side can't. Not a battleground. Can light side force drain? Yeah, right? They can drain for 1. I know nobody can deploy directly to these. There was one rule. I played Matt Sokol in Worlds in 2020. And it was like turn 2. He was playing That Thing's Operational. I was playing No Idea. And he had some... I'm trying to think what the weird ruling was. I think he wanted to like deploy directly to the coolant shaft, or I gotta look it up. It was some odd thing. I remember for some reason he wanted to put like Jar Jar out so he could be safe at the Death Star 2 location. Oh, you know what it is? Darkseid can't move in there unless they're following, I think is what the deal is. Or unless Lightside's there. Maybe some people who play TTO can confirm that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Darkseid can't move into... Yeah, I think he wanted to move in there to protect. That's what it was. To be afraid of like Tantive 4 just going straight to the Death Star 2. Yeah, I think that's... I think he... I don't think he was able to move, and he thought like, hey, is this a bug? That I can't move my ship from the Death Star 2 to the coolant shaft. But I'm 99% or 90% sure I would say that was the problem. That he was like, why can't I move here? I think we had to look it up in the rule booklet. Okay. All right. So Chris here, deploy phase. Thinking what to do. Like I said, if he can just blow away that Death Star, that really changes a lot, right? Bill says it's 28 force. Greg only has 33 total. That would theoretically leave him with 33. I mean, he still needs another turn. He's got to buy time, but Chris should be able to buy, a few turns here. He's got 19, 23. And even if he's taking 5 or 6 damage a turn, out comes Corrin. That's good for Chris. He can break you 3PS cover. Good to see Corrin Horn back in the meta now that the Mythrol's out and Jabba's Prize V. That no longer takes up your Corrin Horn persona, which was one of the reasons why people were not playing him quite as often. There's also a stretch where Darkseid was playing a lot of Nevar Yal now. As a way to defend against like Corrin Horn, breaking you 3PS cover, you just play Nevar Yal now and immediately make him lost before he can do that in the move phase. That was when like Black Sun was a little stronger than it is now. Chris is going to move the Royal Starship away from Naboo, break you 3PS cover, probably draw a few cards here, move the Falcon further into the Death Star 2, and then his next turn, because I think he needs to draw 4, so it's not a guarantee, but that is a lot of force to lose, 28. This month I played Andrew Moss in the OCS, and I was playing Black Sun. He was playing MBO, which, some people mock MBO, but I mean, you blow that thing away. And of course, Andrew's very good at those decks, very thematic. He wasn't using like Ray, which is really helpful. I played MBO a few times. Ray is, she's really helpful in every deck because she's super duper strong. But, stuff like that he wasn't like cheating with. I played it a little, not cheating, quote unquote. Rescuing the Clouds V was helpful for like MBO to help find all the key cards because you got to find all the key cards, get them all in your hand, drop them all, blow away the Death Star, make sure you draw right. Like, it's a lot of things you got to get done. But I won by like single digits with Black Sun. Had a pretty good start too. Even like invaded Yavin 4, kicked him out of the briefing room where that helps get you a bonus. He drew like 1-0, I think, when he tried to blow it away, which I think was pretty fortunate for me because at that point he did have, well, no, I think he's like kind of 50-50, good destinies, bad destinies. But yeah, so basically, point being, you blow away a Death Star, you really make your opponent lose a lot of force, which can really make up for a lot of other drawbacks in your game, which Chris encountered one by getting kicked off that chasm walkway up here. All right, Chris, and then Chris is just gonna leave Lando here. Yeah, it would be really bad if he battled here, only drew like a 3. Erica was immune, and then he spent all that force, and then the drain still gets through. That'd be bad. So I guess he figures, hey, if I draw low, at least I block the drain with Lando. Maybe he's got to, trying to think of what he might be worried about, like some like EPP coming down, slicing Lando, possibly overflowing, maybe like Vader and Forcer canceling his game tech so he doesn't get a Destiny draw. Stuff like that can always be an issue. But yeah, so just a level set here again. Happy Father's Day. Doing a stream here of the Coruscant League event 3, game 6. If Greg wins, we're going to go to tiebreakers between him and myself on who wins the event. If Chris wins, I win the event because I will be the only 5-1 or better. But yeah, I think the leagues are doing really well this year, led by Sam and Sam Tashima, Bill helping a bunch. We have 14 leagues. I always forget if that includes the retro league or excludes it, but we have either 14 or 15. One of them's the Outer Rim. The other ones are all pretty much geographic, so and a lot of them are a mix of in-person and GEMP events across the 5. That's a good way. It was a good way during the pandemic the last couple of years to even just stay in touch with people that you would normally see at locals. Now that we're able to kind of sprinkle in some in-person events, I think it's a good mix. And then, of course, we have regionals and states that are happening. We just had a regionals yesterday in Bothawui in Nebraska. Next weekend, there's a couple states events on the same day, I think. No, maybe they're one day apart. One of them's in Washington, and one of them's in Minnesota. I forget. I want to say the Bestman one, or the Minnesota States, is on Saturday, and Washington States is on Sunday, I think. Joe Olson and Chris Worse, Steve Harpster organizing the Washington one, and Sam organizing the Minnesota one. So Greg at the end of his turn or beginning of his turn, cycles a double back V, pulls Dinger and Punishing One. Interesting card for TTO. Don't always see it, but of course a really good card right now with so many ships with immunity. Really good against like home 1. Good against stuff like Yoda communing that subtracts 2 from attrition and makes it really hard to crack through and get rid of opponent starships. Yeah, Red Fry always is immune with Luke, which we see him in like Yavin 4 Ops. Again, this is a Jawa event, so there is no Shadow Collective, there's no Bring It Before Me, there's no Carbon Chamber Testing, there's no Old Allies. The full list, there's no Idea, Legend, Qui-Gon communing, Yoda commuting are out. I think there's 7 light side cards that were banned and 6 dark side, including Slip Sliding Away. I didn't mention that one. Route Tier Operations V is banned. So I really like the Jawa format, and it actually gives me an opportunity to plug the upcoming Jawa Brawl, which is now going to kick off in, I think, exactly a month from today. The day after Nationals, or maybe yesterday. I think it's the 18th. Look it up now. I'll paste it as, I'll make sure I'm following the action here. So Chris loses a Luke from hand, a Hera from reserve deck, or only Hope from reserve deck, another Only Hope. Where's the Jawa Brawl? 3rd annual ball. Yeah, it starts on July 18th, so less than a month away. Chris is a Speak and a Blaster Deflection. 3rd annual Jawa Brawl. This is a free event. It's Jawa format. It's like the OCS where you post games. You have to get 12 or 10 games in for participation prizes, which are pretty sweet. There's going to be some prizes for performance as well, including the winner will get a uncut Reflections foil dark side sheet, which is really nice. How comes Darth Vader V? Yeah, on Vader's personal shuttle. Chris has a barrier for it, and the barrier looks like it's probably going to go through. Yep. So yeah, that's a Jawa Brawl. Sign up for that. A bunch of leagues have been doing Jawa events. It's kind of maybe like a tune-up. I know Kendall, We Shall Double Our Efforts comes out. That's going to add 1 to the force loss. Kendall always says, hey, if anyone's breaking the format and has a deck that's unbeatable, subject to change. But I think we said, 2 weeks before the brawl officially starts, we'll do an official confirmation of, yes, this is the ban list. So people have a chance to tweak their decks if there is something that, hey, this deck just keeps winning and doesn't lose at all ever in Jawa format. It's too strong. We should ban it. That type of thing. All right. So we do the token. Again, the token's X-Wing Laser Cannon. Send it to Holo Theater at StarWarsCCG.org. Sticker book program's linked in there. It's also in the general discussion. It's one of the sticky posts on the forums. Forum singular.starwarsccg.org. Wayne, according to Bill, it's 28, which seems right. 7 icons, normally times 2, I think, per the rule book, but then TTO says 2 more. Dinger and Punishing 1 here. So this is interesting. I wonder if Greg is taking the approach of, hey, if Chris blows these things away, I'm going to have barely any force loss. I need to just try to outrace him and finish him off in 2 turns. So maybe he's trying to go as wide as possible to get as many drains in as possible. We'll see here if Greg does not battle at the Pyre. This was the pre-registration foil for Endor. So no battle, they're just doing a stalemate there at the Pyre. It subtracts 2 from the total. Oh, double our efforts. Dang. Man, this card's really big then. So yeah, now he needs a 6. He doesn't have anywhere to cycle, right? He doesn't even have like a few maneuvers he can just pass. So yeah, with that said, maybe it's not likely that Chris is going to be able to blow it away. So it subtracts 2. He needs to draw greater than 8 per that thing's operational. Add pilot's ability. I don't think there's any other things drawing. X is +1. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh yeah, Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight is one of the banned cards, one of the 7 banned cards. Let's see, so looks like Chris doesn't cycle anything. But Chris does like playing Destiny 6s, so I don't think there's any other like random cards that would add to the total here. He could, if he like loses something, that he can then walk lane and track it type thing. That might be really helpful for Chris. But he's got 16 life force down right now. Greg's threatening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's like easily only 2 turns that Chris has left, right? We could, maybe we can go cover up the Endor Dream, but that's going to cost 2 force, or an extra force to move there. He can drain, Chris can get a drain now because he broke U3PO's cover. He has Coward satisfied, so if he does have to like pop walk lane to retrieve a force that he could track around a super high destiny, I guess we'll see if he what that one card in his reserve is. I guess he probably tries to do it no matter what, although we shall see. Yeah, Greg's at exactly 28. And he's going to lose through the drain here. It's a 5. Oh, is he 1 shy? Maybe Greg has a Dark Time, which we don't think he had to play, right? That's really a 3. Chris draws it, or grabs it rather. But I don't think he gets it. Oh, he still gets it, right? Oh no, failed. Destiny 9 event. What are we missing? Maybe it's just the way that Gemp is presenting it. Total epic event Destiny is 5. Or total epic event Destiny is 9. Greg's epic event total is 8 because it subtracts 2. I don't know. Some weird thing about how Gemp is showing it. Tarkin's order to cancel the drain. Ruh-roh. But now, can Chris just track that 5 around again? If the 5... I don't think the 5 does it, though. Ability 5. Once per game, make an additional move. When attempting... Oh, okay, here we go. When attempting to blow away, add 1 to total destiny for each of your pilot... Oh, boy. Okay. All right, so yeah. Wow, you only needed a 5, right? Anakin's a 5. Add 1 to 6. My brain's not working. Been a long day. Yeah, so... Yeah, and this thing subtracts 2. So yeah, that Dark Time was the difference. Wow. But now, in theory, you would think Greg can... Or Chris can now do the same thing next turn, right? Unless Greg is like an Omnibox combo or something. But Chris is just going to have to take a bunch of force loss here. He probably wants to move Rick, right? In Queen Starship to Endor. So then you're only losing 1 to the drain at Paulus Massa. Also, you make sure that he can't cycle the Tarkin's orders with 4-LOM V. So you can get that. I don't know. I mean, at this point, it seems like it's either blow away the Death Star or bust. right? Or bust or bust, I guess would be a more accurate way to describe it. Gotta make the Death Star 2 go boom. Quite a mercenary to cancel. Okay, so he's gonna cycle that. Greg can't grab it. He already used his grabber on leadership way early in the game. So now he's got another 5 he can track. Like Greg had like a limited resources. That'd be like backbreaking. But still might be able to do it. He's gonna pop Walkling now, get some life force back. He's gonna be able to definitely track. He's got 2 5s in there. We know where the Skywalkers is, and he knows where the Quite a Mercenary is. So, but he's gonna have to take. Looks like turn it 2 at Naboo, 2 at Endor, 2 at the Chasm Walkway, 3 for that thing's operational. So that's 9. And he's got 16 left. So, but yeah, it still is deploy phase. Well, I don't know. I think this has got some drama. Let's see here. So yeah, so we did the sticker book token. We gave away the Master Yoda foil. What's going on here? So Chris is initiating battle. Why did he battle there? Did he forget that he has no cards in his? I canceled Solo's text. Oh. Oh no. Oh, Chris. What? Okay. I don't know why he conceded. I think he still could have won this, right? By just to play Run Luke Run. There is no rest of the event, Chris. Well, you can't revert now because you conceded. But even if he did Run Luke Run, what does that do? I'd have gotten another card back. But he has no battle destiny, so he's not going to be able to overflow Erica. I don't know what happened there. But I drew 1 in the deck full, you drew a 5 in the deck full, I can't get anything moving. I think it's best to cut my losses. Well, you can't revert once you concede, just for the record. But yeah, I'm confused by this because basically no matter what happens, as long as he's got like 3 life force left. I mean, Skywalker's is what, the bottom card of his use pile or the second to last card in his use pile? You could just activate down to that, try to blow it up again next turn, and Greg loses everything. Yeah. So yeah, so track of 5. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, so that's gonna wrap up. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, it was a fun game, and we're still not positive in win. I think it's gonna depend a little bit on how the other 2 unplayed games in the league shake out for this event. But yeah, there'll be some drama between me and Greg to see who wins the event here. So again, X-Wing Laser Cannon with a sticker book token. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Sign up for the Jawa Brawl. Sign up for Nationals if you can go. And everyone take care. All right, bye.